Hello and welcome to the Daily Spirit of the Soul show that happens Monday through Thursday, generally every single week, unless we have a retreat or soul camp going on that week, then that becomes our day's Spirit of the Soul session. I'm Power Coach Alishia. I'm so freaking excited that you're here with me. Yay! This is going to be a fabulous session. We are in our 90-day journal of finding your inner calm and embracing your truth. We are on day, 56 in here. And with me skipping the weekends, I'm just going to keep going all the way through the end of the 90 days. And then whatever day I end on. And then I'll just step into the next 90-day journal. What's beautiful about this 90-day journal is if you're looking to find your inner calm and embrace your truth, it doesn't matter when it is. Going through this journal and doing this work is going to be extremely, extremely powerful for you. I just start a new journal at the beginning of every quarter that goes along with the theme of the retreat that I did. So coming up at the end of December, there is going to be the Refresh Your Life retreat, and the 90-day journal that will be following after that retreat is breaking free from the grasp of burnout and recharging your mind, body, and soul. So that journal will be all about releasing that burnout and recharging your mind, body, and soul for that 90 days. And so when you look at it, each quarter is coming off that retreat, and it makes it so much more powerful for you to do that work. Also, the soul camps coming off of that retreat will be around recharging your mind, body, and soul as well. So make sure you say hi to me if you're on here. So just do hashtag live party. Yes. Okay. So hashtag live party if you're live with me. Hashtag after party if you're watching this on replay. So we are going to beef this up a little bit. I heard that the other day and I was like, I'm totally using that. Live party and after party. Fuck yes. So hashtag live party. And then if you're on replay, hashtag after party. As we start every one of our Spirit of the Soul sessions, we, sage the area. Now, just so you guys know, I'm using StreamYard, so I may not be able to see who you are unless you've clicked the link in the description and allowed StreamYard to see your comments, but I will be interacting with you. So hello, Facebook user that just commented. I'm so grateful that you're here. This isn't really a fucking piece of sage, you guys. This is pretty much just a little piece of a shit show. I mean, it is. Is it? Okay, whatever. Let's just do the damn thing. So first thing we do is we use sage to clear the space, right? Get rid of any energy that has come here since I worked last, which at this moment was Thursday. Linda! Oh, a family party was a shitstorm, huh? I know. Let me just be real. The energy of the weekend, ugh. Saturday was great. Yesterday, not so much. All right. Lots going on with the full moon. We're in the pre-shadow of Mercury retrograde. Ugh. We got a lot going on coming up in December, so we just need to breathe. You guys, we have got Mercury retrograde and the new moon on December 13th. We've got the winter solstice on December 21st. We've got a full moon on December 27th. It's going to be a busy planetary astrological month. Oh my God, how many more times am I going to read the energy? Let's go to the next thing. So we just got to give ourselves and everyone around us grace. Yes, remember, way more grace than we give everyone else. We're just going to have to move forward in grace and really step into the energy of our soul work. Oh, there's a bird here. I think you were supposed to fly south for the winter, buddy. I don't have any food in there for you. Huh? He's gone now. All right, so let's welcome in the energy of peace, right? Patience with fucking technology, doing whatever the hell it's going to want to do, right? Also, let's bring in and call in clear communication, right? So when we're communicating with people, being on the same page and clear communication. And if there are any misunderstandings, making sure we are moving to a place of peace, love, and protection to get through those conversations. Yes, Mercury retrograde fucks up verbal communication, emotional communication, technological communication, because the planet is like going backwards, right? So anything that is miscommunicated during Mercury retrograde will have to be cleared up when Mercury goes direct on January 1st. I don't fucking remember. It's a while. We get to deal with it through Christmas. So we called in some good energy. just know, like, throughout this month, I'm going to be going into this in the soulful moon. Yeah, we'll be working with all this. So on the 13th, we're actually going to be doing the new moon and the Mercury retrograde session. So we're going to be going through all that. Then we'll have a special winter solstice session. Will be all by itself. And then obviously our new moon. So with that, if you're live with me, shout out hashtag live party in the comments. If you're on replay, it'll be hashtag after party. All right, so back to this. Find your inner calm, embrace your truth. This is our 90-day journal spirit guide that we are using. And we are on day 56. It is all about your inner light. And actually, we're talking about inner and outer light. If you would like this journal, I want you to go ahead and shout out guide in the comments, and I'll get that for you. We also have our Journey of the Soul calendar that is available. It's for 2024. It's freaking beautiful. You've got your daily astrological forecast. You have your ritual for the month. You have daily soul actions. You've got my daily proprietary power up process, which you learn at the beginning of this book, whatever day of the month this is, or this would be the new moon. You got your indicator here. And then if you go to that day, it says new moon in Aries. It tells you exactly what to expect for that new moon, what's coming up. You've got vision board in here for every single month, because I think it's important to revisit your goals for the month and see if that's what you still really want to achieve. And you can just go ahead and move them from month to month, especially if you use washi tape, which is so fucking fun to adhere your vision board items, and that you'll be able to move it from the next month if you still want it and you didn't achieve it. The other thing is, oh shit, why did I just lose my train of thought? Why did washi tape spark something? I don't remember how it was. But anyways, 2024 Journey of the Soul calendar. It is a fucking gorgeous. Like, you literally just need to type journey in the comments and let me get you the link. Read through the page. See if this calendar connects with you, right? This, it's just so beautiful. It's fucking gorgeous. Okay. Anyways, type journey in the comments. The other thing I want to mention, because I don't know if you've seen it around the group this weekend, but my Clear Your Mind Clutter Bootcamp, this is the last day for the 3-day sell on it. It's such a phenomenal training. Like, if your mind feels full and you just want to gain some clarity, clear out some of that clutter that's in there, and really take hold of your thoughts, your actions, and just get moving. I don't even know where the hell this link is. The Clear Your Mind Clutter Bootcamp is exactly what you were looking for. Literally, it was here the other day on ours. But anyways, it's really, really awesome. You guys can snag up the link, go check it out, and get signed up. It is an on-demand, so you'll be able to study it at your own. You'll have lifetime access to the replay, and I know that you'll absolutely love it. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. I did this, was it last December? Oh, it was one of my favorite, like, it was a 4-day training that I have done in such a long time. Like, it was so awesome. Why is that redirecting? I don't know. So just shout out Clear in the comments and I will get you that link, but I got to make a note to fix that, because if you go to that page right now, can't even sign up for it. Is today? Oh, it's because it ended yesterday. It doesn't matter. If you want access to it, I'll still give you the flash sale price. Just shout out Clear in the comments. It did end yesterday. I'm not used to being non-live every single day, because generally I'm live every single day, but I had to shift that because that was a lot. I was live 7 days a week, no breaks, and my mind would turn on to work. Like, you don't want to do that. All right. So your guide today is broken down into 4 parts. You have your quote, you have your lesson, you've got your journal prompt, and you have your affirmation down here at the bottom. Every single day is set up like that. Like I said, we're on day 56 in your journal. If you're watching live with me, will you say hi to me so I can see who you are and knows here? I know that Linda's here. And also there's a link in the description that says, see it on StreamYard. If you click that, I'll actually be able to see your name. But, interact in the comments. The more that I hear from you, the more that you interact, the better the session is. I promise you that. Our quote today is, I never knew how dark it was until I stood in the light. I never knew how dark it was until I stood in the light. This is a quote from my Get Your Shift Together soul camp. I was like, what is it? My Get Your Shift Together soul camp. So the lesson today is shifting to inner light instead of darkness is a lesson in self-transformation, resilience, and the innate capacity to find hope within. It's the understanding that even in the darkest of moments, you possess the power to ignite a spark of inner light, illuminating your path forward. This lesson empowers you to cultivate positivity, practice gratitude, and embrace resilience as you navigate life's challenges. By shifting to inner light, you transcend adversity, finding strength, hope, and a renewed sense of purpose within yourself. Julie, what's up, girlfriend? Welcome in. So listen, most of the time you go through life looking for external circumstances, people, and things to shed that light, to shed that joy, to give you that feeling of lightness. And when your external world doesn't do that, your internal world gets darker and darker and darker. And so what happens, because you're not doing anything about it, you're more reactive to it or just going through the motions, is that eventually it gets so dark that you have to do something about it. And that's when you choose to hire me, right? If you don't know who I am, I'm Power Coach Alishia, your soul healer, author, and speaker. I specialize in helping women go from burnout to recharged in 30 days or less by teaching you how to shift, align, and expand your soul healing so that you can step into your power, stand in your power, and protect your power and show up every single fucking day as the badass that you are. So you end up hiring me because you don't know how to get out of that darkness, or the weight is too heavy and you can't find that clarity. Let Linda and Julie tell you, we just did a fucking phenomenal Soul's Prescription Soul Camp that was all about transforming your pain into power and saying goodbye to anxiety and depression so that you can achieve unstoppable confidence. It was the best life coaching, soul healing, SOULFIRE, Soul Power, Soul Camp I've ever done. And if you were there, as Julie and Linda were, you know the power of that Soul Camp. Every single fucking person needs to attend that Soul Camp because it was beautiful. So if you want the link to that, you can just shout out the letters RX in the comments. By the way, if you're watching any of this on YouTube, all your links are in the description. Anybody on Facebook, just shout out whatever I tell you to shout out in the comments, or everything is in the description here, or most everything, okay? But you can just shout out RX in the comments and I'll get you the link for that. But it was so phenomenal and so fucking powerful. It was like this whole light that we're talking about today, it really did just teach you how to illuminate your own light from within, like that glow out instead of the charge outward in. I'm really big on teaching you that your internal wholeness does not come from external action. Your internal wholeness, hey Mary, does not come from external action or external circumstances, external people, external things. It does not. Write that down. My internal wholeness does not come from external anything. It does not. Okay? Your wholeness comes from you, what you do, your inner nudge for good, listening to it, and operating from that place and showing up from that place and leading from that place and doing the work to heal anything that is going on inside of you so that your can be louder, so that your can show up, so that your can lead you. That is internal wholeness. No one can make you feel whole. That whole adage that fill in the blank completes you, your children, your husband, the whole Jerry Maguire, you complete me. There is no such thing as another person or circumstance or thing completing you. You complete you. And when you go through life building an environment of people completing you, it will never feel so dark than it has ever felt before. Because other people cannot complete you. If you allow other people to complete you, you want to know what happens? Anytime they fuck up, anytime they tell you something negative, anytime there's a disagreement or things to complete you, let's say like a business, anytime things are fucked up in those areas, you feel incomplete. You feel disconnected. You feel like something's off. You feel like you don't recognize yourself. You feel fill in the blank. You see, when you are whole and you've done the work to make yourself whole, whatever is going on outside of you are just things that you are growing through. They aren't things that are like depleting you and building you and depleting you and building you. Now, I think I explain it in two ways, right? You have your wholeness and your fullness. Your wholeness is within, okay? Your fullness is from out. So to feel full, that comes from your kids, it comes from your partners, comes from your friends, your career, everything that you do, all of that, right? So there's this cup that's being filled or depleted based on the people in your life, their actions, circumstances, things, That's fullness. Your wholeness is like your soul circle, your soul protector. And everything you need is inside of that circle. And your job is to give you those things. The wholeness and the fullness are two different things. Okay. This is how I've designed it. This is how I explain it to teach you that you have got to create a strong line between how you feel whole and how you feel full. The more work you are doing, which one did I do? Whole and full. The more work you're doing on your wholeness, the more light's going to shine from within you outward. The more work you do on the people you surround yourself with and the circumstances and the energies that you're in, the more full you'll feel in the other areas of your life. Does this make sense? Shout out yes in the comments wherever you're watching this. I want to make sure that you're paying attention, that you're listening, that this is connecting to you as well, right? Not pseudo listening. Because we are at a time of year that fullness is at an all-time low and a wholeness doesn't even exist because you're giving so much of yourself to everyone else and saying, I'll get there in January. And you're making all these plans, right? That's when you're going to lose weight. So you're going to start your meditation practice and your soulful morning, and you're going to start working out, and you're really going to step into the power of you. No, fuck that. In my world, we don't do that. In my world, we don't wait until some future date, some future like world thing where we decide that we are enough to move for. In my world, I don't believe that in that millisecond between December 31st and January 1st, that miracles happen. And all of a sudden, the person that you are, where you put yourself aside and you don't show up for yourself and you're the people pleaser and you're beating yourself up and beating yourself down and doing all those things that you were doing in that millisecond before, that changes. A new year means shit because you're the same person going from second to second, minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day, week to week, month to month, quarter to quarter, year to year. Yeah? So if you're thinking about any of that, let it the fuck go. You want to start working out and lose weight, you do it right fucking now. I don't give a shit. Oh, Alishia, the holidays and I'm eating and blah, blah. Who cares? Who cares? Start now. So when you do that, it'll assimilate. You'll be able to burn it off. You'll already be in a habit. You already feel better. You already feel more powerful. Still eat all the fucking food. And then do the work for yourself too. Wholeness. Wholeness. Yeah? Everything that you want for you, the work that you need to do for you, the healing that you need to do for you, in my world, it starts right fucking now. I don't give a shit what's going on in the world because listen to me, there's always shit going on in the world. And we really got to get you to focus on your wholeness. And that's the healing. That's the work that we do, right? And once we focus on the wholeness, we also unilaterally work on the fullness. Who's in your life? Who is causing you the disconnect from yourself and pulling away from yourself to give to them? And who is taking way more from you than they give? Who is depleting you? And they're not really good for you to be there. Who do you need to create distance from? Who do you need to create space from? Who do you need to create boundaries with? Who do you need to create standards with? But you can't create boundaries and standards and have these conversations if we haven't worked on your wholeness, right? So your light within comes from the work that you do in shining bright in your world. And the light that shines on you from outside in is the fullness, the people that you put around you. Your boundaries with them, the standards with them, the energy that they bring, the energy you give them, right? Okay. So I want you into your journal prompt to think about a period in your life when you found the strength to shift from darkness to inner light. When you found the strength, the shift from giving everything to everyone else so that you felt whole and you decided to give to you and how much better you felt. Think about this time. What practices or beliefs helped you through this time? Consider any recurring negative thoughts or emotions that you'd like to transform into positivity. How can you cultivate gratitude and resilience as you navigate life's challenges? Write about your experiences and intentions for shifting to inner light. Excuse me. So our pages are 8.5 by 11. They're really big pages for you to write on here in your journal. The calendar is the exact same size because I just wanted it to be like big and beautiful and amazing so that you could have them and hold them in your hands and do the work that you needed to do. And then they are two totally different things. This is, all about finding your inner calm and embracing your truth. This 90-day journal is. This calendar is your journey of the soul for 2024. Your soul journey, your soul healing, the work that you're doing, the transformation that you are creating in all areas of your life. Okay. So I want to be really clear that they're not the same thing, but they go phenomenally together. So if you'd like access to this spirit guide, this 90-day journal, just shout out guide in the comments. I'll get you the link. You can snag it up on Amazon. We'll get to you in 2 to 3 days. If you want the 2024 journey of the soul calendar, shout out journey, or just get the links and read about them. If you feel disconnected, don't buy them. If you feel connected, your ink says move, right? That's how we work here. You can shout out journey in the comments. The Clear Your Mind Clutter Bootcamp is all about clearing your mind clutter. So if you feel like you got a lot going on up here and you really need to create some headspace and some clarity, shout out clear in the comments. I'll get you a link for that. You can read through it and see if that is a connection point for you. Now, this flash sale ended yesterday, but I fucked it up and brought it up today. So I'm extending it for today for this live. Anybody who talks about it, mentions it in the comment, I'll get the link for you and you can have that. If you're in the Revive Mastermind, you automatically have access to this Clear Your Mind Clutter Bootcamp, so you don't need to buy it separately. And depending on what level you are in the Shift membership, you also have access to it. So if you want to know if you have access already, you can ask me, shoot me a message, and I can let you know where you're at on that. Your affirmation for today is, I am the bearer of inner light, capable of igniting hope and positivity within even the darkest moments. Through resilience and gratitude, I triumph over adversity, finding strength, hope, and purpose within myself. In the tapestry of existence, I am the thread that weaves the beauty of self-transformation and the triumph of the human spirit. Affirmations. Get your body involved, right? You want to get your body involved when you say them. You want to say them with conviction, energy, power, right? And you want to say them 10 times so they embed into your subconscious and so that they become you. So very important. Linda says, I get it about not taking in other people's negativity. Not what I said. But okay, I'm glad that's what you heard because that was your message. I always love when I give a message and people hear what they need to hear to grow. It's always beautiful. But I really resonate with creating distance from negative, paranoid people. I realize, though, that some of the very closest people to me fall in that category. It made me so sad this weekend. Yeah, it's fucking horrible, Linda. It's so sad to realize that in order to grow and in order to be able to do the work you need to do to feel whole and the work to feel fulfilled in your relationships, your connections with the people around you, it means creating distance. One is distance, one is boundaries, one is standards, right? So you have all these different things that you're putting in place. And as you put the boundaries and standards in place, the people who thrive on a frequency that you are no longer willing to be part of usually auto create distance. So you don't even have to say anything to them, right? You don't have to say, hey, I don't really want to be, I'm not really going to be talking to you. I'm not really going to be hanging out as much. You could just start exercising that boundary, start explaining how you operate, start showing up in your power, and they will instinctively back up because they'll be disconnected from it. They won't like it. They'll feel like you're changing and that you're different, right? Because you attract these people to the frequency you were on. So when we write things like, negative, paranoid people, we were that negative, paranoid person in order to attract that negative, paranoid person into our life, right? So it's in our evolution of creating our wholeness and stepping into that positive power frequency and stepping into that energy of high vibe tribe. Like that's what we want. That's what we want to create. And realizing that by allowing these other people in our life, they are bringing us down to their level. And the only way we can bring them up to our level is if we stay in that power. That's why I say step into, I teach you how to step into your power. When I say stand in your power, standing in your power, not dropping to that level of other people all the time and having to re-get yourself back up and boom, you drop again. And you got to get yourself back up and then boom, you drop again. You got to get that's fucking exhausting. And it's not like being on a trampoline. It's more like it is like being on a trampoline. Remember when you used to jump on a trampoline with another person and you would do that like bounce thing? And if you did it right, they would skyrocket you, or they did it right, they would skyrocket you into the air, right? But if they did that bouncing and there was any resistance from you on the other side, you would just do that because your knees would bend and you wouldn't fly into the air. And so what you had to learn to do, because you wanted to be bounced, was when they did that, boom, that you released and let yourself go. And then you would fly into the air, and that was so fun, right? You remember that? It's the same concept, except for you are the one that is, boom, hitting the tramp. And the people that are going to go with you are going to release and give you that space to grow and allow and flow and transform. And so as that happens, they're going to fly into the air. They're going to increase as well. But the ones that don't want that, even though they say they do, and they live their life that way, and they talk about it all the time, they're the ones that anticipate the bounce. They see you coming to do the bounce, and then they stop. And if you are the person that is doing the bouncing, it fucking sucks when the other person stifles it on the trampoline, because it makes both of your bodies almost go, woo, right? But when they release and you do it, you guys, it's like elation on both sides. Are you guys with me on this analogy? It's the same fucking thing, right? So with that being said, you have got to decide, and it doesn't like put yourself on whatever side you need to of this in order for it to make sense for you. But you've got to decide, you're the one that's bouncing. You can't be on either side. You're the one that's making them fly into the air, right? Because you're the one that is changing how you're doing it. You're the one that is propelling them up if they want it. But how many times when you were young did you attempt to do that bouncy thing, and if they kept resisting it, you're like, fuck it. Like, this isn't working, because you won't let go. So you're never going to fly into the air. No, dude, you can't do it like that. You got to release, right? How many times would you do that before you decided you were done? If you think back, at probably like 3 to 5 times, we're like, okay, this is working. Let's switch sides. Then they would do it. You'd fly into the air. You're like, they'd be like, how did you do that? They were releasing. They were willing, or you were, however you want to look at it, to have that elation and that excitement and that fly into the air. Like, your job is to heal yourself and become whole and stand in your power. And those who want to will rise up, and those who don't won't. And the more people who won't rise up, the more they're going to step out of your life, because they're not rising. And they don't like that you're either holding them to a standard or you're not around. It's how it goes. I haven't talked to one of my friends for almost 3 weeks, been friends for almost, I think this would be our 3rd year. And it's what it is. You want to know what happened? I called her out for being negative. I'm not going to fucking put up with it. All I was doing was being nice. All I was doing was sharing something with you that you like. And instead of being grateful and connecting, you were negative and basically bitched, but you were positive and then negative. So you give me a positive and give me a negative, and then give me a positive and give me a negative, and then give me a negative and give me a negative. I'm like, no, fuck that. So I said, I was just doing my best to share something with you that I know you love, to brighten up your day. You don't have to be so negative. She has never talked to me since. Fuck her. All the shit I've done for you, as much as I've shown up for you, as much as I've done my best to help you, and you stand with your fucking feet in the mud, not even willing to attempt to lift your own feet out of the fucking mud, you're a wet blanket in my life. You have been since the day I met you. So this doesn't hurt me. I love her. She could be an amazing person, but she chooses to be a wet blanket. I'm good. When you realize the weight that people put on you so that you can't fly into the air, it's a hell of a lot easier to create the distance. Okay? So Mary says, yes, people move away when you set boundaries. They don't like it. Mary also says that you could use a seesaw as an analogy. When someone gets off, they were on the lower part of the board and they let you drop. Exactly. Or you let them drop. Maybe we just need to stop fucking holding them up, right? Lena says, one's my adult child. It's breaking my heart. I want to reach across the distance. Not create it. I always say this, and I never stutter. When it comes to setting boundaries, when it comes to setting standards, when it comes to creating wholeness, I don't care who they are. I don't care if it's your child. I don't care if it's your mother. I don't care if it's your brother. I don't care if it's your sister. I don't care if you're best friends with all of these people and you love them more than life itself. I always say this. You have to learn to love yourself, your happiness more. Because here's the trade-off. Let's say it is your child, because that's the discussion. Are you willing to feel like shit? Are you willing to feel the disconnection? Are you willing to feel like you're never good enough just to have that relationship? And you have to make that decision. For me, fuck no. Because I know the alternative. I go negative. I struggle with my energy. I am more easy to go from 0 to 60 and be pissed off. My insides get fucked up. Yeah, you might be sad. And it might be breaking your heart. However, it's circle of control. You only have control over what's within your circle. And what's within your circle are your words, your thoughts, and your actions with that relationship. What's also within your circle is protecting your personal power. That's why that's number 3, because that's the hardest for people to learn. 1 is to step into. That's the first thing I teach you. 2 is how to stand in your personal power and people come up or they get the fuck out. And 3 is to protect that power from every single fucking person on the face of this earth, no matter what. Because people, women, tend to believe that depending on who they are, they get your power. No, nobody gets your power. Nobody. No husbands, no children, no friends, no nobody. That's why that's number 3. So, Linda, you're still at number 1, stepping into, right? So you're going to learn all 3 unilaterally. The universe will continue to give you massive situations to learn all 3. And protecting your power is the hardest. From your kids is even harder than that. Husbands, that's second hardest. Other family, that's third hardest. Your children are the hardest because that's what you take the most ownership of. Those are the people that you love automatically, unconditionally. Those are the people that are part of you. It's reframing, creating a new belief system that it doesn't matter who the fuck that it is. If they are emptying your external cup, which will impact your wholeness, boundaries, standards, need to be enforced, and the distance will automatically be created. So you want to know what the issue is. I don't even have to have this conversation with you like verbally, Linda. The issue is this. You're going through this growth phase, and there's this disconnect between you and your adult child. Your children are used to you conceding and being the yes woman. We've talked about that in general. That's who you are. If someone is immovable, you are the one that moves. But I'm teaching you that that is not the case. You don't automatically move because someone else is immovable. You stop and you decide, well, they're immovable, but am I willing to make any concessions for the other side of what I'm going to get from this? Or am I holding strong? And we need to find completeness and understanding so that we can have the peace, love, and protection in our relationship. See, again, you are feeling like you need to adjust because they won't. But you know you can't adjust because of the growth and the work that you're doing. So it's breaking your heart because it brings up all of this stuff. I'm a bad mom. I should be doing this. No, fuck that. They're an adult. And when your kids become to this place of adulthood, you really realize where you fucked up in teaching them how to manage their emotions, their circle of control, what is theirs to own and theirs to own on it, their own, and what's everyone else's. Because you weren't doing it for yourself, so you damn sure weren't teaching it to them. So now you're in this hindsight of your own growth and your own light and the work that you're doing. Like, fuck, I really wish I would have taught my kids that. Teach them now. And then they got to decide what they're going to do with it. That's their circle of control, not yours. Maybe they won't talk to you anymore. Maybe they'll come around. That's their choice, not yours. So with that being said, that's what I have to say about that. I always say this. I don't care who the person is on the other side. It does not matter. Mary, she will tell you. Her and I have had this conversation hundreds of times. Alishia, this is her at the beginning. She came to an actual in-person tour stop in 2015. Mary and I have known each other for like almost a decade, which is fucking nuts. And at this tour stop, she's explaining what her relationship's like with her husband. And then as time goes on, we now have the sister relationship, and her and her sister is like, she's always there. She's always helping her sister. And then she's taking care of the nephew, and she loves the nephew, and da-da-da-da. And I had drilled this shit into Mary's brain for years. Mary, I don't care if it's your sister. I don't care if it's your nephew. I don't care if it's your husband. You have got to create the standards and boundaries. So then she would. And then I'd get this long ass message about what happened. I don't know what to do, Alishia. I just feel so bad. And now we're in a fight. Good. You created your boundaries. She doesn't fucking like it. She's got to decide what she's going to do with it. At times she wouldn't talk to her. At times she didn't see her nephew. At times her and her husband were turbulent. But they learned how to move through that because Mary learned that she had to stand in her power. And that's the exact same thing that you are learning now. Linda, you're stepping into and learning to stand, and then you drop back. And then you step into and you learn to stand, and then you drop back. And then before you know it, you're continuing to step. There's no dropping back from stepping. And all of a sudden you're standing. Mary is still on her journey of protecting her power. We all are, because it's one of the hardest things to do. People will fucking catch you off guard in a second. Boom, your power depletes. You're like, what the fuck happened? Or something triggers you that nobody actually meant to do. And boom, your power is fucked. You're like, what the fuck happened? I wasn't paying attention. And they caught me off guard and they zapped my power. Damn it. You don't go to them. You don't go talk to them about that. You got to go do work, re-protect it, come up with a new plan to continue to have that power there when you are triggered. I taught you this in the Soul's Prescription Soul Camp. It's the AUA. So for those of you guys that are there, that's how you protect the power. That's how you don't let it deplete you all the way, right? So I will say this again. Give yourself massive fucking grace. It's a hard fucking journey. It is. It's a hard journey. I say it simply, it is hard. It is hard for me. It will be hard for you. It's just what it is. The actions become easier, but the emotions are still just as hard. I was really, really frustrated that day when my friend acted like that. We spend a lot of time with them. Their kids are like my children. It's fucking horrible. It sucks. I don't miss her though. And I have to just release the fact that some of the kids I probably won't see often. I've done this so many times though, it isn't as heart-wrenching as it was at the beginning because I know what's on the other side for me. And when you know what's on the other side for you, it gets easier and easier and easier, right, Mary? And when I say easier, it becomes easier to deal with the emotions and the sadness that you feel from the loss. It becomes easier. But the emotions and sadness are not easier. It just becomes easier to work through them. It becomes easier to grow through them because you know what you get on the other side. Okay? So, now, Mary expresses herself to her sister and she backs off. Do you know how many fucking years it took for that? Do you know what the battle looked like for that? Do you know how many tears Mary shed for that? It's work, guys. Your light comes from the inside out. You are illuminating that light outwards because then you are full of light and that light goes out. If you are working in life for whoever it is, children, friend, husband, mom, sister, brother, aunt, cousin, fucking nephew, whatever it is, to give you that light, anytime that relationship edits, adjusts, is turbulent, they don't show up, they're depressed, they're going through life, your fucking light is dull. It's dimmed, it's dark, it's black. because they are controlling the light that you receive. You cannot live like that. You have to make yourself whole, put the light within you to shine it out bright, and then also make sure that you protect yourself at all costs. So that way, people cannot dim that light. And how you do that is standards and boundaries. Okay? So, with that being said, feel all your emotions. Feel how bad it fucking feels. Let it fucking suck. Get into AUA and get into action. Get into move. Get into go. Get into flow. Get into allow. You can also manifest the relationship you want with people. You can't manifest their actions in the relationship, but you can manifest the relationship you want with them and the energy behind it. So if you want a healed relationship with people in your life, fucking write it. All right? Manifest it, create it. In my world, I teach you this kind of stuff all the time, especially on the level of the Revive Mastermind. You learn how to position things like that, right? You learn how to show up like that. You learn how to do work around that energy. All right? So with that wraps up day 56 in your 90-day journal of finding your inner calm and embracing your truth. If you want this journal shout out guide in the comments, 2024 Journey of the Soul calendar. It's beautiful, 365 days of soul actions, one brand new ritual every single month. I invite you to moon rituals every single month, actually twice a month. We've got your invite to soul camps and retreats in here. Everything you need to chart the course of your soul and transform your entire life is right here in this calendar. Now, if you've purchased the calendar, it's being printed via Amazon, and it will be to me in, I don't know, it says deliveries between the 11th and 14th of December. So I'm committing to shipping by the 17th in case it is here on the 14th. I have time to package and ship. So you'll have plenty of time to release 2023, set up your 2024, and then start the calendar January 1. All right. So all of that is right on track and right set to go. So just shout out Journey in the comments if you want access to this. Okay. Also, I have a killer recharge roadmap for women who feel burnt out and need a recharge. So if you want me to sit down with you and map out your roadmap, the areas and what you need to do and how to do it and what that looks like, you want a recharge session. So if you're feeling burnt out, you're feeling like you need a recharge, you're feeling like you need a roadmap on this journey that you're on, you're going to want to shout out recharge in the comments. So if you haven't had one, you can book a recharge session. The only catch is my schedule is very limited, so I don't have a lot of time, except for this week I have opened up more time. So if you shout out recharge, I'm sure you'll be able to find a spot on the schedule to book in. Remember to say yes to yourself more than you say yes to other people. It's always about progress, not perfection. And make sure that you give yourself way more grace than you give everyone else, because the world needs who you were made to be. So show up every single fucking day and slay as the badass you are, because you deserve it. I'm Power Coach Alishia, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye.